Good Wednesday morning. I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. We're going to be taking a look at the weather as we go through the next 7 days over the next 10 minutes or so. Looks like a pretty good forecast for the weekend as we're going to warm up. Expecting to see highs up there in the 70s for the weekend. It's going to be some chilly mornings, but the afternoons look like they're going to be really good. Tomorrow morning is going to be the coldest morning we'll see over the next 7 days. We'll be back into the 30s. So we'll look at those exact numbers coming up here in just a little bit. Let's take a look at the rest of the day forecast for today. Lots of sunshine, a few high clouds. That's about it out there. We'll climb into the lower 60s today, back off into the middle 50s by 6 o'clock. And then by 10 o'clock, we'll be in the 40s. Like I said, we'll continue to fall off, and we're expecting to see lows tomorrow morning back down generally into the middle 30s across most of the area. Allergy report starting to climb up there again. Medium on tree, heavy on mold, and weed and grass are on the low side. So starting to see the numbers come back up a little bit after the cold weather. Allergy reports rebounded just a little bit there. As we take a look outside, like I said, we have a few high level clouds, but most of the skies are just mostly clear and blue out there for this morning. Here's a view up in Jasper on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. This camera brought to you by Provalis as we take a look at the streets of Jasper, and looking like nice afternoon going to be setting up there into the Jasper area as all of southeast Texas. A little bit of traffic out there for this morning, a little bit more in the way of cars than I usually see on this camera, but looking good up there in the piney woods. As we take a look at Port Arthur, as we look at the intercoastal, the bridge off there in the distance. This camera brought to you by Market Basket, and you can see once again some of those high clouds down towards the coast there. Skirting by. The front that came through last night is well offshore. Matter of fact, it's working its way down towards the central Gulf right now. And on its backside, we're seeing a few high clouds, but that's about it. Most of the area is seeing a lot of blue sunshine. And we're going to see that through the next couple of days. It looks like we don't see too much in the way of cloud cover as high pressure builds in and keeps us nice and dry through, it looks like, the weekend into early parts of next week. So looking good there in the Port Arthur area. Here in Beaumont, we're looking pretty good. Orange, not seeing any clouds on this particular camera. As we look down I-10, looks like it's pretty smooth going over there in I-10. If you're traveling from, say Vidor, heading over into Lake Charles or Beaumont, Lake Charles, somewhere in there, you're looking pretty good. Don't see any backups here. At least getting up to the bridge, it looks like it's going to be pretty nice. This is the view, of course, from the Horseman's Western Store, which is right there to the left of the screen. You can see the sign for the Horseman's Western Store. Currently showing 56 degrees at the Horseman's Western Store, humidity at 57%, and we have a northeasterly wind at about 6 miles per hour there in Orange, as we'll see plenty of sunshine. And here at our 12 News studio in Beaumont, blue skies once again, just a few high-level clouds off in the distance. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, and once again, traffic looks like it's going along pretty smoothly there on I-10. If you have any travels there for lunch, maybe heading down I-10, heading from, say, I don't know, College Street, heading off to maybe the mall or something like that. Looks like traffic is going along pretty smoothly. Temperatures right now in the 50s. We're hoping for highs in the lower 60s for today. Generally middle 50s, from 56 in Kirbyville to 54 in Woodville, 54 also in Jasper, and then 55 in Silsbee. 56 all around the triangle here. Beaumont, Orange, Port Arthur, all at 56. Also over towards Conroe, 56. Huntsville at 54, and then Houston's at 58. Lake Charles currently showing 56. Here's the front working its way, like I said, down towards the central Gulf, as it's still lying just north of, it looks like, Brownsville, with some scattered showers out ahead of it through parts of the southeastern U.S. and then back behind it. Pretty quiet conditions. There are some high clouds kind of drifting in from North Texas. Maybe a little bit of light rain through the Red River Valley right now, but that's not going to be affecting us. We don't have rain in our forecast as we go through the next several days. So looking pretty good on the weather map for this morning going into this afternoon. Pretty quiet conditions out there. Looking around the rest of the country, it's really this cold front that's producing some wet weather through the Carolinas back down into the panhandle of Florida. That's really the only weather maker we're seeing across the country right now. And you can see the scattered showers there. But New England, Great Lakes, Northern Plains, all look quiet. We can actually see some of that colder air coming down behind that cold front. You can kind of see dropping down through the central plains there. And then it looks like out west, things look fairly quiet right now. There are some clouds building just off the coast of the Pacific Northwest. That could bring in some activity, looks like, next couple of days through maybe Oregon up into Washington State, back up into Idaho, Montana. But right now it looks very quiet. Southern California looks good. And Four Corner State's also looking pretty quiet out there for this morning. Temperature-wise, we're in the 50s now, but then we'll come up into the 60-degree range, somewhere around 60-degree range for the early afternoon, and then hope to top out around 62 for later on this afternoon. Falling back down into the 50s for this evening. By late in the evening, we'll see temperatures into the 40s, and then overnight it gets cold. We're expecting lows tonight right there in the middle 30s, about 34 to about 37. A little frost may be forming, so if you have any plants that you had covered up, maybe you took the cover off, you might want to cover those up again for tonight. You don't have to worry about pipes or anything like that. Make sure your pets are in a nice warm spot. It's going to be cold, so make sure they have a nice warm place overnight. And as far as pipes, you don't have to worry about that. And just if you have some elderly neighbors or something like that, make sure they have the heat on for tonight. As we look at our forecast for tomorrow, by lunchtime we'll be in the middle 50s, just around 60 degrees for a high tomorrow, kind of like today, and then we'll see temperatures backing off into the 50s for tomorrow evening. Along the coast, a small craft advisory is in place. We'll see north winds of 15 to 20 knots. Right now at Texas Point, you can see 18 gusting to 22, so be pretty choppy out there. There is some rough conditions on the inland lakes and bays for today with that small craft advisory. Water temperature right at around 60 there into the Gulf. North winds of 15 to 20 knots with those seas from 2 to 3 feet. Our next high tides at 5:28, and then for tonight our sunset will be at 5:56 for this evening. Days are getting a little bit longer as we continue to head a little bit closer towards spring. We still got a little ways to go before we get there though. All right, our forecast for today. We're going to go mostly sunny. Of course, no rain with the blue skies. We'll see north winds continuing throughout the afternoon, about 10 to 15. So it will be a little bit breezy. And temperatures today, we'll see some upper 50s towards the lakes and lower 60s here around the triangle. For tonight, clear skies and lighter winds will allow temperatures to cool off even more than we saw this morning. This morning we were back into the 40s. Tomorrow morning we'll see some middle 30s towards the lakes area and some middle to maybe a couple of upper 30s as you get a little bit closer to the coast. But nevertheless, like I said, maybe a little bit of frost tonight. Make sure you bundle up. The little ones have on a coat tomorrow as they head off to school. By the afternoon, with temperatures around 60, they won't need too much of a heavy coat, maybe just a lightweight jacket. Here's a look at our 7-day forecast, and you can see a little bit cooler tomorrow, about 60 after that cold start. And then look at this streak of 70s we have going through the weekend into early next week. We'll take that. Normal high this time of year, about 65. So we're going to be anywhere from 6 to maybe 9 degrees above that normal temperature as we go through the weekend into early next week. Our next chance of rain doesn't really come into play till about Tuesday, and we're just going to go 20% chance of rain on Tuesday. It looks like maybe a better shot as we head towards Wednesday. We'll update that for you, of course, for tomorrow. But mornings are going to be still a bit on the cool side. You can see 43 on Friday, 46 on Saturday, and then some lower to middle 50s as we head towards into early next week. But outdoor plans this weekend, a lot of folks celebrating some Mardi Gras celebrations for this weekend. And that looks good. No problems out there. The evenings might get a little cool, a little bit of a jacket or some layers, but the afternoons look great. I mean, lower to middle 70s, we'll take that all day long. Those are the kind of days you kind of wait for around here. We're either too hot up into the 90s or you get too cold. So those 70s, maybe some lower 80s, those are the type of the days that you really like to get outside and enjoy some of the sunshine. But 7-day forecast does not look too active. Like I said, just a small chance of rain on Tuesday, and that's about it. That's going to wrap up our stream. We appreciate you joining the stream for this morning. Of course, tonight around 6:30 to 6:45, Kerry Cooper is going to be here. He'll be updating the latest stream coming up tonight, give you the latest numbers for tonight and through the next 7 days. Of course, we'll have the regular newscast at 5-6, but he'll be doing the stream at 6:30 to 6:45. And of course, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll do the stream again from 11 to 11:30 to 11:45. Appreciate you watching through the whole stream. I hope you all have a great day. Enjoy some sunshine today. We'll talk to you later.